Do you need to write a project plan but have no idea where to start or what to include? Well, in this video, I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to build a dependable project plan, just like the one that you are seeing on screen, that will keep everyone aligned and that actually delivers results. I've led hundreds of projects across multiple industries over many years by this point, and I've routinely returned to this exact framework and template that keeps projects on track and stakeholders happy. And don't worry, I've included a download link for this exact template in the description down below, so you can get up and running in as little as 30 seconds if you did want to save some of your valuable time. You'll also get all of the core milestones and tasks that are applicable to projects of any industry as well, so it's really useful for that. Now, I do just want to emphasize something critical before we get started. Understanding your project goals and deliverables from day one is essential. When you don't understand these elements and make assumptions, it can lead to serious issues down the line. So always get clarity from your sponsor before moving forward with creating a project plan. Now, let's start with component one. You essentially want to create a project header. Now, you may notice that I am in Microsoft Excel, and it may be that you need to create and write a project plan in a different software. It could be a project management solution as an example. This video will be teaching you the principles of writing a project plan, so don't worry too much about that. I just wanted to make that clear. Nevertheless, you want to make this information clear from the outset. So firstly, I've got a document heading. So that way, when you open the document, it's very, very clear what you are looking at. Then, and this may seem basic, but it really does establish the foundation for everything that follows, you need these four essential elements up front and clearly visible. A clear project title that everyone recognizes, the assigned project manager, which is likely you, specific start and end dates, and total project duration. Now, the duration simply calls out this. It's the difference or the delta between the two, but it makes it very, very easy to quickly calculate. Notice how I've designed this section with clear fields. So this isn't just for organization, it immediately establishes accountability and timeline expectations for stakeholders. Now, component two is the work breakdown structure, sometimes shortened to WBS. Now, this is where most project plans fail because they're either too vague or too detailed. Now, one thing I will say is just to give you as much information as possible and an idea as to what needs to be done in each phase of a project, I've really built this project plan out. But this is really important because it kind of goes against that point. But you don't want your project plan to go on for too long or be too complex. Okay, so what the kind of key here is breaking your project into 5 distinct phases. And I've tried to do this with some kind of border coloring or phase coloring. So the distinct phases are project conception and initiation, WBS number 1, state definition and planning, number 2, 3, project launch and execution, 4, performance and monitoring, and 5, closure. Now, as long as you have that structure, what you include underneath is ultimately up to you and specific to your project. But that's the kind of core structure that you should use. Now, as you will see, each of these phases then gets broken down into specific tasks. So as an example, there's research tasks that need to be done, and these are the specific subset of those. The beauty of this is the WBS numbering system enables kind of a clear hierarchy that everyone can reference. So for example, when someone mentions 1.1.1, we all know we're referring to the document historical project data. Okay, so it just makes it really, really easy in the execution phase. Now, one crucial element with this breakdown is the scope statement. So it comes in the scope and goal setting. This defines exactly what's in and what's out of scope of the project. So by laying out these boundaries clearly, you keep everyone on the same page and prevent scope creep. So this is a pivotal part of project planning that many managers rush through, but it is worth spending extra time here. So a lot of these tasks, subtasks, and milestones are all about ensuring that you run your projects as successfully as possible. Now, component 3 is status tracking. And what I've done here is I've set up a column specifically for it. This will turn an ordinary project plan into a powerful management tool. So I've created a simple 4-status system that works for any project. Not started, in progress, complete, and on hold. And I've done this as a drop down. Now, you can make this more complex and have more options, but these are a good subset to base your project plan off of. Now, you can also color code these statuses, and that will create kind of instant visual clarity. Then when you share this with stakeholders, they can immediately see project health without reading a single word. It's just a nice way of kind of understanding the information. Now, here's a pro tip most project managers miss. Update these statuses weekly, but do keep the historical record. So every time you make a change to the project plan, create a new version. This will create a progress trail that will help identify bottlenecks and patterns over time. Component 4, assignment and accountability. So without clear ownership, tasks are going to fall through the cracks. Things won't get done and deadlines will get missed. So that's why our 4th component is all about assignment. So this is what the assigned to column is all about. So for each task in your WBS, assign a single owner, not a team, but an individual who's accountable for completion. This will eliminate the, I thought someone else was handling that problem that derails so many projects. Next, we add a specific start and end date for each task, plus the expected duration. Now, here's what makes this powerful. When you compare the estimated duration against the actual start and end dates, you can identify productivity patterns and improve your planning over time. Now, during this stage, we touched upon accountability. Confirm exactly who you need on your team. So find out if you'll have full-time or part-time people on the project and understand how their project work impacts their regular responsibilities. So the subject matter experts on your team are essential for delivering project success. So clarify their availability up front with their managers. Now, component 5 is context and communication. So the final component addresses the number 1 reasons projects fail: poor communication. So this comments column is actually really, really important. So it could be notes as well. But it serves multiple critical purposes. Here you can document key decisions, why, when they were made. You can take notes on dependencies between tasks. You can capture risks or assumptions. And you can also add additional context for status changes, as an example. So this ultimately provides an invaluable project history that will prevent misunderstandings and help new team members get up to speed very, very quickly. So just in terms of filling this out, obviously you'd create this document, then you'd fill the header information. So this is essentially a template. You'd then start filling it out. So you'd add your header information in here for your new project. You'll update statuses, you'll track your actual dates, you'll make some adjustments to the task depending on the specific project and what's applicable for that. But yeah, this single document will become your project dashboard, if you like, showing progress, ownership, timeline, and context all in one view. One important reminder: never start with a kickoff meeting as step 1. So that's a little bit of an expert tip there. Notice how much preparation we've done before we even get to that point. Okay. When you do hold your kickoff, don't just tell the team there's a project. You need to show them that you've vetted everything with their managers, present your complete plan, and make it clear they'll begin execution immediately after. So a few quick implementation tips. So now that you have your template, here's some ways to improve its effectiveness. First, treat this like a living document. So maybe schedule 15 minutes each week to update statuses, dates, and comments. Now, this consistent rhythm is what makes the plan work, okay? And it may be that some of these change over time, so just bear that in mind. Second, share this with your entire team and key stakeholders. Now, this transparency will create accountability and help everyone see how their piece fits into the bigger picture. Now, I would recommend saving this to a shared location so that if any changes are made, they're kind of kept into the document and they're not lost on people's local drives. Now, you may need to change people's access levels if you don't want them to update it, as an example as well. Now, finally, use this document as your central reference in all project discussions. When issues arise, document decisions in the comments column, so there's always a clear record of what was agreed. So don't forget, you can pick up this template in the description down below if you wanted to get it all kind of pre-built, pre-formatted, and all of these milestones and tasks. Otherwise, I suggest if you did want to build this template from scratch, learn exactly how I created it, the exact steps, how to do the drop downs and things like that, then you watch the next video showing on screen. That one's for you.